We are agreed, I think, that there are certain actions that is necessary to take as swiftly as possible. And I've obviously been very anxious to stress the process of reform and change that is necessary in order to make sure that these types of financial irregularity cannot happen again. And it's important we put in place, as a European Union, the mechanisms that make absolutely sure that we have the right system of accountability and financial control right throughout the European Union. And I believe there is a mood for reform and change across Europe.
Simply, we are calling a political judgment that the rot in terms of mismanagement, irregularity, fraud and petty corruption will never stop if every commissioner constantly can rely on the legal shield of collegiality and avoid personal responsibility. This is the political issue at stake, President. This is the choice that the House must make. We must cross the bridge. We must move from aspiration and the abstract in a concrete form to demand that individuals be accountable for the mismanagement in their own areas of responsibility.
In order to make sure that these types of financial irregularity cannot happen again. In order to make sure that these types of financial irregularity cannot happen again.
It was a devastating scandal. 16 members of the European Commission were forced to resign. 4 were simply moved to new positions within the Commission. Despite the shakeup, no one was truly held accountable. Now, just 3 years after an affair that paralyzed the entire EU, an even bigger debacle is beginning to emerge. It again involves allegations of corruption and fraud within the European Commission. The same whistleblower who uncovered the 1999 scandal has prepared a 5,000-page dossier detailing alarming charges of alleged wrongdoing. And the details the investigator Paul van Buitenen discovered are just the tip of the iceberg. Legislation is being prepared that would ban effective and scientifically proven natural health therapies. Though these methods have shown no dangerous side effects, they may soon be outlawed under the mantle of consumer protection. Gigantic economic interests are exerting massive influence in hopes of barring or rigorously limiting public access to life-giving vitamins and minerals. For many citizens, it's the last straw. Thousands of Europeans have taken to the streets, demanding their right to unrestrained access to natural therapies.
And I, as somebody who's fairly sympathetic to the people who are sending emails,
this directive is about consumer safety. While Müller still pretends the EU directive on supplements is driven by health concerns, the in-house newspaper of the EU, the Rapporteur, has already revealed the real motives behind this ban on effective natural therapies. Quote, "The European Commission last week undermined the position of most EU consumer associations by admitting that the Food Supplements Directive is based on single market rather than health concerns." Müller is right. We are talking about food here. But we all know that we treat these supplements, almost like prescription drugs. I'm of the opinion that after such a long and hard struggle within the Council, and that we finally reached a consensus under such trying conditions, we should simply accept this consensus. Indeed, it has been a long and hard struggle under trying conditions. In the last 3 months, concerned citizens have bombarded lawmakers with over 400 million emails. It's just one way the public has sent a clear message to all EU politicians demanding the right to good health. Renowned scientist Dr. Matthias Rath initiated the email campaign, dubbed the biggest online vote in history. Over the last 10 years, he has perfected natural methods of effectively treating heart attack and stroke victims naturally and without side effects. Now, these 400 million votes have shown overwhelming support for him and his campaign to secure unfettered access to effective and side effect-free natural therapies. On this day, the ENVI committee approved all positions set forth by the European Commission without any problems, except one. Massive public pressure turned the planned vitamin ban into one of the most controversial issues facing the Union. Dr. Rath attended the second reading of the European Environment Committee, intent on representing the interests of 400 million voices. But the committee refused his request to address the EU Parliament on behalf of the 400 million votes. In all, over 20,000 clinical trials and research studies have conclusively proven the health benefits of vitamins.
Thank you. Mr. Mathiodakis, you are in Newton Abbot. People are rioting all around you. You are being told that you are banning products. What is your answer?
Well, first of all, the reply would be that we are not banning anything at this stage. We have to...
That won't get you out of difficulties.
No. We have to see, to note, Madam Chair, that we are only
I don't think that that's much help, Mr. Mathiodakis, to be honest. But I don't think I ought to continue along this line. But don't forget that in such a gathering, you would be surrounded by people who are convinced that they're taking safe products. And the fact that they're alive is evidence of that.
Now for a quick recap of what we've just heard. The European Commission and the European Parliament's Health Committee have engaged in months of argument and debate. And still the Commission is keeping the visibly shaken committee members in the dark over the consequences of the planned directive. The Commission would not comment on the true repercussions of the legislation, even during the second reading and in the face of repeated demands. And the debate isn't about public access to dangerous substances such as alcohol or cigarettes. It's about the right of 380 million people to have access to the most important substances in human nutrition. These substances play an invaluable part in the metabolism of all humans. They are the determining factors in the sickness or health of 380 million Europeans. But despite all these facts, a directive is being thrust upon a health committee that is purposefully being kept in the dark. And the entire Parliament is looking to that same health committee for guidance in a most complicated issue.